everyone! So today I just wanted to make a video talking about my hospital registration experience and also just sort of ask you guys your opinions about some certain things that happened today and you know, what your experiences were like when you registered at your hospital and you talked about your birth plan and whatnot. I also wanted to let you guys know some cool information about Olivia because we did have a growth scan and like a fluid level scan. So yeah, but we did have an ultrasound and it was super short and quick and to the point, and I was actually kind of frustrated. While the ultrasound was going, there was a doctor trying to give me like information at the same time, so I didn't really get to focus in on what was, you know, what I was seeing, like looking at Olivia and kind of enjoying seeing her. But it really wasn't that kind of ultrasound. It was just kind of like a in and out ultrasound, which in a way I'm kind of grateful for because you guys know I'm kind of I'd rather her be exposed to ultrasounds the least amount possible. So it's kind of good that this was just kind of a quick measurement and stuff, but we didn't even get to see her face or anything. Like they measured the head and everything that they needed to measure, and we didn't get a picture, so yeah, that was kind of a bummer, but it's okay. We got all the important information, which is what's important. And I know that these growth scans can be off and stuff, but I wanted to share it with you guys in case you were interested. Sometimes they actually are pretty accurate according to the doctor and the midwife who was doing it. So yeah, she approximately weighs 6 pounds 2 ounces now, which is really good. It's a little bit above average, but like not too much above. So she's not like big and she's not small, and she's a little bit above average. They think she's a little bit bigger for her stage. So that's really good news. I can't believe she's already like 6 pounds in there. It's just so weird to think because like I know I've met like friends and family who have had babies who are 6 pounds, and I'm just like amazed that she's already like, you know, that big. It's just kind of crazy to think. Yeah, so her estimated birth weight is around 8.2 pounds. They figure probably another 2 pounds if I go all the way to my due date. So that's a lot less than me. I was almost 9 pounds at my birth and my husband was like 7.5 pounds. So yeah, she's a really good healthy weight and everything, and you know, the ranges are very wide, but I'd say she's definitely, you know, in the normal, and that's good to know. One thing that you actually can see on these like little charts, this is kind of where she falls here on the leg length, and she apparently has very long legs. I mean, I don't know, she definitely did not get that from me. So far she really seems to be taking after a lot of my husband's genes, that's for sure. But yeah, she has long legs and her head size is perfectly normal. She's not gonna have like a really hard head to deliver, which is good to know. My fluid levels are a little bit above average as well. A lot of you guys kind of thought maybe you have a lot of water in your belly, that's why she's kind of moving around a lot. And yes, my fluid levels were a little bit above the normal, but you know, that's nothing to be concerned about. Also in good news, her head is still down very deep in my pelvis, and my placenta is in a good place. It's like on my right side and it kind of goes up to the top a little bit. So now on to kind of how the registration went and how it went, talking about my birth plan and whatnot with the midwife, and I actually ended up talking with one of the doctors there at one point. I did want to let you guys know I will have a full birth plan video, which I was actually planning on doing like today, but because I got a lot of information that I need to do some rethinking about, I think I need some more time to get the birth plan finished. But this is the birth plan that I made for the hospital. This is the actual birth plan itself, and then in the back I have kind of the after the birth of the baby, kind of my wishes and whatnot. And pretty much everything was fine. Just the woman that we were talking to, the midwife or the nurse, I'm not really sure exactly. She was really nice at first and everything. She did not ask us if we had a birth plan. Like, she was about to just like be like, okay, so we're just gonna do the ultrasound now and, you know, go pee in a cup and all that stuff. And we were like, well, don't you want to hear like what we want like for our birth and stuff? And she was like, oh, okay, yeah, go ahead. And she like was so surprised when I like handed her this, because I mean, like, it's not, I mean, I made sure to make it like, you know, not too complicated or anything. Like, I have it organized really well and stuff. And I guess my husband said, I guess just in Germany, they're just not used to birth plans. So yeah, she had a look at it, and she stopped at my fetal monitoring section, which I have written, I would like fetal monitoring to be only with a Doppler or stethoscope. As far as I know, that is how home births are typically handled, and I did call the hospital and ask if that would be okay, and the woman I talked to on the phone said, yeah, most likely that'll be okay. And then I said, only if electronic fetal monitoring is necessary. I wish for the external fetal monitor where I can move freely. And then I said, no internal fetal monitoring. Like, I don't want that at all, basically. And basically she told me it's something completely different from what I heard from the woman I talked to on the phone. She just said, you know, we have guidelines and stuff. And it's so strange as well, because when we went to the hospital registration, which by the way, if you guys are interested, I will put the link below and in the end slate to the hospital tour. Like, I did like a virtual tour. It's a really, really nice place. But right now I just got kind of a bad vibe from some of the people I talked to today. Not a bad vibe, just kind of a different vibe than I got all the other times I was there. I just don't know if I got stuck with kind of people that just don't really mend with my style very well today. From the tour, when they talked about the electronic fetal monitoring, they say for all normal pregnancies, it's normal to do fetal monitoring when you arrive for 30 minutes, and then only if you're a high-risk pregnancy, they will keep you on the monitors and, you know, do further monitoring like intermittently or something. And she told me, and then the doctor later told me that I will need to be monitored every 2 hours for at least 30 minutes. And it is a monitor where you can move freely. And my issue with that is, like, yeah, obviously with the regular electronic fetal monitoring, I would have issues with not being able to move around. But obviously, since they have the other option where I could move around, that would not be the problem. The main problem is, from a lot of the birthing books I've been reading, electronic fetal monitoring is best if it's avoided. It just kind of makes your chances go up of having unnecessary C-section. And there is no proof that the outcomes of births are better with fetal monitor. But another issue is with the fetal monitor that I have with it is it would have to be on for the entire birth, basically, like for the delivery part of it. So yeah, it's just, I was really surprised because I just thought that they would be a lot more flexible about it. I mean, maybe to some of you that is flexible, because I'm sure that there are loads of you who had to lie in bed constantly with it. But honestly, if I would have known this, I probably would have planned more ahead for doing a home birth, because I would have preferred, you know, using a Doppler or a stethoscope. And they told me that they don't have anybody who is trained enough to handle those situations, which I think is weird, since midwives are supposed to be the ones handling the births. Like, how do they not know basic skills like that? Okay, so that was just kind of the first issue that we kind of ran into, was the disagreement when it comes to the electronic fetal monitoring. Basically, they just said, you know, we have guidelines. If you plan to birth here, this is how it has to be. Basically, it's the rules. So yeah, they did tell me that maybe I should consider going to a birth clinic or to do a home birth, but I'm not so sure. I mean, I'm 36 weeks pregnant on Monday. It's gonna be a lot to plan. Another thing that kind of, I don't know, I just kind of feel like this midwife, or whoever she was just a bit freaked out by me a little bit, just because, I mean, I wasn't being scary or rude or anything. I just think, honestly, they're not really used to getting people who are educated about things. They really do try to avoid C-section as much as possible, which leads me into another thing. So basically, if the electronic fetal monitor were to pick up that there could be something wrong with Olivia, like she seems to be under stress or something, which sometimes these electronic fetal monitors can pick up, because they're very sensitive. They can pick up things that really are not problems at all. So that's what else kind of frustrates me. But they would first take blood from her head, basically, and this is to help prevent C-section, basically, is what it's for. They would check from her blood to see if she is actually under stress, or if the fetal monitor is picking up something that is just a little bit irregular. So that just freaked me out. I don't know. It just freaked me out a little bit. I mean, I guess it's a good thing that they're trying to prevent C-section at all costs, but it's just kind of like, oh, it just freaked me out a little bit. Let me know what you guys think about that, because I've never heard of it before. Okay, so there's that, and then the last thing I wanted to say is I really just did not like this midwife. Like, if I end up giving birth there, I really hope that she's not the one who ends up delivering my baby, because I don't have a choice. Whoever's on staff there is going to be the one who does it. They have 2 awesome birth tubs. Like, if you watch the virtual tour, you guys will see that they have 2 awesome birthing tubs, and it says on my birth plan that I would like a water birth. Like, that is my optimal wish. And the woman just kind of looked at me. She's like, but it's your first baby. You know, sometimes for first babies, it takes a very long time, and we want to kind of look to see how things are stretching and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, but if you knew anything about water birth, you would know that water birth helps with the stretching and prevents tearing and actually speeds up birth in most cases. And she just looked like, if she were to be the midwife delivering me, she looks intimidated of water birth, which I don't like, that they could possibly have staff there available who don't know how to use all their facilities. So yeah, that is very frustrating to me, because a water birth is something that I'm very interested in. I really thought differently of this place, and I really liked the doctor that I talked to. Like, I felt really comfortable around him, and I felt like he had a lot of experience, and he was really nice, and he was really open, and I think that he liked me and my husband. I think he was really interested to see, like, wow, these people, like, they are actually educated people, which I don't think they deal with too many of those, to be quite honest. So, yeah, it's just like they are very liberal there in comparison to other hospitals. We looked on some birthing center websites, but they pretty much push electronic fetal monitoring pretty much the same as this hospital does. I just feel like home birth may be the way to go, but I think it's too late. I'm going to be making another video of my final wishes, and I'm going to be going back to that hospital because I still have some questions that I need to ask. We are registered there because you have to be registered at a hospital in case there is an emergency. Like, if you were to do a home birth, you would need to be registered at a hospital in case you needed to be transferred, basically. So it's a smart idea to definitely register early. So we are registered, we got all that stuff done, and right now I'm just left with some decision making, and I'm a little stressed out, not gonna lie. So I feel like, I don't know, I feel like such a slacker, like, in a way. Like, I really just got such a good vibe from this place when I went the first time that I just didn't really think that this registration would go this way. I guess I could have just got stuck with kind of bad luck with the people today. The doctor was awesome though, don't get me wrong, he was really awesome, and he was really, like, if I were to give birth, I would much rather the doctor handle it rather than that midwife, because she just seemed a bit freaked out by my wishes. Just let me know what your opinions and comments and experiences are in the comments, and what do you guys think I should do? What do you think would be best for me? Hope you guys all have a good weekend, and I'll talk to you really soon. Bye!